Welcome to our tiny home. Would this van suit you?
Come on!
This is our Mercedes Sprinter Luton box van we converted last year. We have now been living in it for a year, about a year.
There are definitely a few pros and cons. We have lived in a few different camper vans. We're going to give you our honest opinion about this Luton box van.
Just to be clear, this is going to be our tour video. I really hope you enjoy the tour. I think it's got a lot of positives that I hope we can kind of get across, and a lot of positives to buying a Luton box van over a normal Sprinter. And welcome to our home. This will be the first time you guys have actually seen the inside of the van. Finito. Where should we start?
Kitchen. This is our kitchen. I used to be the one that was cooking every day, and actually now it's Si's job.
It's my job.
He's the housewife.
Lou's the one who works the most, okay? That's the rule. Whoever works the most doesn't have to cook.
We've got nice big drawers here, which we keep all of our mugs, cups, forks, knives, etc. Tea towel. And this is an important drawer. Then we've got another big one. We keep all of our food in here. It is really deep, isn't it? So we just literally put everything in there. We've got kiwis, pasta, coffee, important coffee. This little cupboard here, it's kind of got a bit of everything. It's got, again, very important, it's got olive oil, salt, cleaning products, just a bit of everything in there.
Yeah, it would be like a normal house, would it?
You wouldn't keep salt and olive oil in there.
Yeah, okay, that's true. I want to do this, talk about the fun bits. Off your pop.
Well, anyway, I haven't finished. This is our nice hob.
Yeah, this is the Jackson's Leisure Hob.
It's so easy to use, and you can remove these to clean it as well.
So yeah, I would rate anyone who wants to get a really compact hob. I will put the link in the description because I think that's one of the best hobs I've seen in a camper van. I just can't floor it at all.
Where did you get it from? Amazon?
No, Jackson's Leisure.
Oh, that's a company.
That's the website.
Oh, okay.
And then we have, what would you say that's one of your favourite things?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite things. I think this makes the van. Did you already buy a tap? And I was like, no, we need a gold one.
I had lots of spare taps, but Lou kind of told me off there and she wanted to go for the gold tap. I actually think this ability to move around the hose and kind of put it where you want it should be mandatory in a camper van. It's so important, and we use it so often that you don't want a rigid tap that's fixed in one location. You need to be able to move it and put it into different hobs, or if you want to spray something, it's really, really handy for that.
Yeah, we literally have our kettle here, and we just...
I would say with the undermounted sink, is ceramic, so I would recommend it. Is nice to have and it's really easy to clean. You don't feel like it's flimsy, but it is very heavy. So if someone's going to go for an undermounted sink, order it online. Try to get a stainless steel sink or PVC or something lighter. Don't get ceramic, it's very heavy. This van, I've been careful in a few areas, but that again is bad. Also, I will mention that if you have watched one of the camper van conversion videos, I talk about using sapele and really thick timbers. This is all very heavy. They're very thick timbers on the drawers.
I love this though. I love this. I think it's just, this wood in here is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It really is. If you see it glowing anywhere off the sun,
Yeah.
it just looks stunning.
Yeah, it does.
I wanted it to look solid in here. I didn't want it to look flimsy. I didn't want it to look like what's that supermarket in America where you buy furniture?
IKEA.
I didn't want it to look like an IKEA job. I'm now going to give you a quick rundown of what's underneath there. I am going to do a proper electric and plumbing video, but that is not this. I am now on the floor. So, oh, look at this sapele, it looks so good. But in here is the water heater. I feel like contacting this company and trying to get sponsored by them. This is the best thing I've ever bought in my life. It's incredible. And again, I've said it before, put lights in areas where you need to have quick access to. Do not let it be like this. I can't see what's happening back there. Chuck your lights on there. It just makes it so much easier. We have the Propex 6-litre water heater. This thing is a god. It literally, it's so simple to use. I want you to know how good this is. without just grabbing people's heads and screaming the company name in their heads. Buy it! I have only heard good things about this Propex heater, and it is so efficient on fuel. It's actually ridiculous. We have 180 amp hours available. We have 360 amp hours of batteries, but you can only use half because they're not lithium ion. They're lead acids. But this doesn't use anything. I am not kidding. It will go from 15 degrees water to 45 in about 15 minutes, and it's barely touched the batteries. Thought I'd just show you an example. There we go. It's been on for about 10-15 minutes, and it's 46 degrees. That's bonkers. So for people who don't have as big of a battery bank as we do, I would say turn it on, turn your inverter on, turn this on when you're driving. Have that alternator through a switch relay charging up your batteries, and it should probably counter how much power that draws. Again, it doesn't draw a lot. Just run your engine and turn it on. It's such a short duration of time. If you're going to go, say, drive to a shop, you're about to turn up at your campsite, or you're about to turn up at your free parking spot, just quickly flick it on. It will be hot. The Propex water heater, in my opinion, is the best. Quite easily. So then we have a really crappy little 12-volt water pump. I wouldn't recommend that. That was an Amazon job, and it's naff. It's loud. It hasn't been leaking. It hasn't broken, so I can't diss it too much, but it's not exactly amazing. This is where we store saucepans, our kettle, and our plates. This is a really, really good area for it. Nothing in here has ever moved because it's so low to the ground. We do have these. I did just chuck them in here because I didn't know where to put them. But I don't even know what they are. But yeah, so this is where we store the larger bits and bobs that can't go into the cutlery drawer. Do you like the plates? I think they're pretty nice. I unfortunately chipped it. Look, they're such nice plates as well. We have the Renogy 2000 watt inverter. This thing is an absolute beast. This has never caused us any problems. There is no loss of power when using this. It's pure sine wave. Make sure that when you buy your inverter, it's a pure sine wave. If it's not pure sine wave and you try charging something that is, say, valuable, like a laptop, your phones, a drone, anything like that, if it's not pure sine wave, it can fluctuate in power and it can damage them. So make sure you buy a pure sine wave inverter if you're going to use it to charge anything, which is kind of the point of it. Be really careful about that. I, again, will put a link to this somewhere because this has definitely been worth the money of buying it. This is so good. And then we have our little solar panel regulator there. I brought this solar panel regulator here with two solar panels and all the cabling from the solar panels all the way down to this. So that took away the chance of a mistake being made. I have tucked all the wiring. I am changing that 12-volt fuse board. I'm upgrading it to a Renogy fuse board. So this is going to be changed soon, but it's still good. It's just, it looks a bit messy because it's so much going to one area. Try and keep your wiring tucked away like this, maybe even a little neater. So then these go through here all the way to the battery just in there. And I'm just going to quickly show you also our batteries under here. I think everyone having their batteries fairly quick to get to is really important. If there's ever an issue, you want to be able to get to them. There we are. That's it. This is the battery setup. There's 320 AH batteries. I'll try and flip that for you in post. But yeah, so there's 3 of them, giving us 360 amp hours. So that's a lot of amp hours, to be honest, but you can only use half. I've done the wiring really, really simple, so there's not much that can go wrong. This wiring here goes out to the diesel heater and etc. You can see this red cable here that kind of goes up and down. That goes to the switch relay. Air conditioner comes in here. Again, I've simplified it to an insane degree. It literally goes into an extension plug. And then that black cable here goes out to the earth onto the chassis. That white cable that comes in here, that goes to the extension lead, and that is what's connected to mains power. Really, really simple. And there is a 240 switch there, and that's linked to the inverter. Again, super simple. Try and keep it nice and clean. There's quick release clamps in case there's an issue. I can literally flick that off there and get that battery out within about 5 seconds. I just told Lou I want to get a shot of the living room and she jumped off on the side there. Look, come down.
This is our living room. This is my seat. I sit here. This is basically our coffee table. It's our chill area and workstation. It's kind of everything all at once. And yeah, I basically do all of my calls. I do everything from this seat, and you've got it with a view as well, which is really nice. Open this window up.
This has to be one of the best things we brought.
Oh my god.
The window having the blind and the fly net. You wouldn't believe how much we use the fly net.
I like this, like at night. I like to close it. I mean,
Yeah.
people can't really look in anyway because we're so high and it's tinted.
I'll show a little clip of me walking back from the gym last night. Look at that side window, look. You wouldn't think anyone was in there. Oh, Bianca. It's a complete blackout blind. There is no light that comes through there whatsoever.
You mean when this is down?
Yeah, it's pitch black from this side. So it is important if you're going to be... This is something to take into account. If you're going to want to go incognito in the van, you want to be able to make it look like there's no light inside. So if you have loads of windows, it's a more of a chance of people realising you're sleeping in it and a chance of like issues popping up. But when you've only got one window on the side here and the back door, we obviously have the blind there. That goes to the front cab. We usually park with the back against a tree or the wall, and then we put insulation over the blind so it's a complete blackout as well. So if we have the lights on in here, no one can really tell we're in here. Yeah, with the living room area, again, a sapele table. This is how much I was trying to be careful with the weight. This isn't solid sapele. As you can see, it's got lines on it. And to be fair, I really do like this effect. But I have put ply underneath here. The ply is lighter than the sapele. So there's literally thin strips of sapele which are then glued and screwed onto ply, which has reduced the weight a little bit. This is really important to not have a nice living room area to sit in and feel comfortable, do some online work, which is really important for Lou.
Yeah, this is what we've always struggled with. So with our other two vans, there was no chill area. It was just the bed. Just to be able to sit somewhere upright, because again, in our other vans, you couldn't sit upright. So we would sit on the bed, but you couldn't chill because you're going to smash your head on the ceiling. I can't remember the other Mitsubishi one.
You can sit up in it. You could just sit up.
But there was no table. We had like a makeshift table.
Oh, we did, yeah. We had one. It was on string on a hinge, and it just flopped down, and it actually used to fall down
on your legs.
On my legs, but then also I attached it to the sliding door, so as it would fall down, you then couldn't open the sliding door.
Yeah. Whereas honestly, this is like a small flat. It really, really is. Lots of people say to us, "Oh, how do you live in a van? Like it must be so small, so claustrophobic," but honestly it's not. It's literally everything we need. The only thing when it's a problem is like if both of us are trying to get over there and have a shower, and like both of us are, sometimes it's like if you're washing up and I'm trying to get into the bathroom, like that kind of thing. But honestly, it's not. It's
small.
Yeah, it's such a small problem.
That's a luxury when you're both getting whoa. It's a luxury when you realise that it's annoying that you both have to be at the kitchen at one time. It's like, oh no, I'm cooking. Can you wash up in a little bit? It's like, that's crazy to be able to say we're both standing up in the hallway, and we're getting annoyed that the other person is doing something at the kitchen at the same time, which you can.
But that is the only issue.
It's small. It is small.
Yeah, we never get in each other's way apart from that.
But there's something like this. There's no need to have anything bigger than what we're in right now. As small homes go, I think this is more than big enough. It really is. Like the fact that there is a nice clear pathway, which I said in the conversion videos, pathways are everything. Yeah. Be really careful of your pathways. Yeah, I would say this living room area is a 10 out of 10 for a van. I can't floor it.
Yeah.
And the boxes that we're on, again, don't waste any space. The boxes, Lou's on a diesel heater, and I'm on batteries and pretty much all the wiring for the van. Right, what do you want to do now? Should we do the steps?
Yeah,
no one's actually seen the steps finished.
Yeah. The steps are a really good feature.
Yeah, they're cool.
So these are our steps. I think they look cool, but also they have very good. They're there for a purpose, basically. So these are all storage boxes. So in here, random bits and bobs. Yeah, I don't like this one. I never look in there because it's just tools and things like that. It's your box.
That isn't supposed to be like that. It's where I chucked all the paint when we were converting the van, and I just haven't cleared it out. I'll clear it out actually before we do our next van trip, which you will find out soon.
And this is a huge storage box. It's literally that deep. My bag, my shoes. We've got all sorts in there. Coats.
Yeah, it's all the bigger like clothing
Bulky things,
and spare clothes. We have a lot of clothes in here. It's actually probably a bit unnecessary.
Well, it was from last summer. We have all of our summer clothes. We have our winter clothes. We have everything in here. So yeah, storage boxes. Here we've got some really nice drawers.
Again, solid Sapili. That's about, I think it's about 32 mil thick on these, if I remember it. And yeah, I really, really like this. Is all out of one piece of timber. It has the grain flowing all the way down.
Again, this is storage here, but we just kind of shove everything in here.
Yeah.
Easy to reach things like chargers, notepads. Yeah, but that's a really, really helpful little. It's basically like a shelf, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
but
a shelf.
it's the stuff where it's the place where you just throw everything.
Yeah.
I think everything. Every van should have a little shelf where you just throw stuff.
But we have this strip here, so when we are driving, nothing falls out. And so, like, anything important just hits this, which is really good.
That's a good point to mention. Nothing has ever fallen out of there. And if you look at this isn't fixed. And it's never come off. Ever. It hasn't. It doesn't. It can't even move. You do have to lift it up. I think it's the paint and the paint against each other that's made it's super grippy, but it's actually really helpful that you can remove this. So I'm quite glad that we didn't put hinges on it, because the fact that it doesn't move anyway. You stand on it. You can't stand on the ledge and make it flip. Yeah, I really like these. And if anyone's kind of watched the conversion videos again, that I made this out of battens and I basically just strengthened it with ply. So this is super lightweight, this box section, and it's rock solid. Like, you would not be able to move anything on these steps. As Lou said, it's the way up to our bed, and it's super practical for that reason. Yeah, I actually think this is probably one of the smartest ways of getting up to your bed, and for storage reasons.
Yeah.
Because it's simple. Anyone can make this. Everything in this van, to be honest, I made so that everyone could kind of replicate it if they needed to. It's really, really simply done. There's nothing too fancy. It just looks nice.
It does look really nice, and yeah, good purpose for it as well.
Yeah.
Storage.
So now we have the bed. Lou's going to try and get into bed, and then I'm going to show you how I get into there afterwards.
Obviously, it's a lot easier for me because I'm half the height. Whereas, yeah, for you, it's a little bit of a struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, these are our protection. That is actually more important. We had one night in bed before I woke up the next morning, and I was like, I'm putting something on there. I was so close to rolling out of the bed.
Yeah.
It was actually terrifying.
Yeah, because you
could break your neck.
Yeah.
You could easily break something falling at that height. It's literally Lou's head height. Lou's 5'2", so you would fall 5'2" onto the.
I think I'm 5'3", but anyway.
You're not.
I think I am.
Right.
Anyway, so when you're coming out of bed, you actually have to go feet first. So you have to kind of like wriggle your way down, put your feet first, but then like. Do you even hold on to this? I definitely do.
I hold that.
Yeah. It's really nice to have something to hold on to, especially when you've just woken up. You've just woken up, you're half asleep, and you're like, oh, getting down these steps. And yeah, again, if you fell from here even, it's quite a drop.
You've got corners.
Yeah.
These table corners would hurt. The bed looks like it's annoying to get into and inconvenient. I personally think it's the best thing about the van. You're so close to the ceiling, which sounds claustrophobic, but it's so comforting.
Yeah. It's so comfy. Like, we both sleep so well in there. Even if there's noises outside, we are gone. We
Out.
are in a deep, deep sleep. I don't know why.
I think it's because it feels like the van's hugging you. But I would say also, it's really, really good if you're going to stay somewhere that's got cold weather. Up there is warm.
Yeah.
Heat rises, so you're just always warm up there. In the summer, it does get hot. We do have the maxi vent fan, and we do have an air conditioner, and we have another fan just there, which I'll show. But
yeah. In the summer, when you wake up, because I sleep like towards the side, I literally feel like I'm in like a cupboard. When I wake up, I'm like, I can't breathe, and I used to freak out, didn't I?
Only for a few seconds.
Yeah, but when you come out of this section, the difference in temperature is unbelievable.
Oh my god.
You come down, you're like, oh wow, I can breathe. But in the winter, you wake up and you're so cosy. It's so like lovely and warm in there. When you come down here, you're actually cold.
Yeah, the bed area is where you want to be in the winter. It's so much nicer up there. But in the summer, yeah. In the summer, it's a little bit hot up there.
And you just come down, like we've got something else we're going to show you as well. So yeah. But anyway, let me get up to bed.
This is also how the mattress here is the same height as this Sapili. So this is what we use to encase the mattress. The mattress is the full length of the van, and we have a really chunky piece of Sapili here that holds that mattress in place. And also, it looks epic.
Yeah, it does.
It looks so cool. Okay, go on, Luke. Show them how it's done.
So, yeah, you kind of got to, like, is it bear crawl to bed?
Bear crawl?
Is that what they call it, bear crawl?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, that looked really easy. You made that look really easy.
Because I'm small. This is good for someone of my height. If you try and come up here, it's a little bit more...
Okay, yeah, you go to your side. What I do is this.
Yeah, you actually do. That's not even a joke.
I'm not dramatising that. At all.
Imagine that in the dark.
Yeah, and then I have to get down doing this. That's so it. Again, that looks so annoying. Go on, you get down.
Yeah, but actually, when I come up here and Si's down there, I actually feel like I'm upstairs, like in my room.
We call it upstairs.
Yeah.
Not even because we want to. It's just habit. It literally feels like it's up. You have to go upstairs.
Yeah.
So
when I'm here, so I like lay here, and I have like the iPad there, and I'm like, watching TV or whatever, or like reading a book, and honestly, it feels like I'm in a completely different room. It's so weird.
Maybe it's this.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That is essential, I'm not kidding. This is so important. And this is how Lou gets down.
It is actually a hot day today, so it's actually very hot.
It is hot there, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's like 20 less degrees here than it is in the summer. So you can kind of imagine.
It gets toasty. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't actually go to the bottom step generally. I just do.
No, yeah, you don't. See, that bottom step there, we kind of use it as a place to store rubbish.
Well, you just put your clothes there. You put your bag there.
Put your spare shoes there. Like right now, they're over there behind Lou, but they usually just get chucked there. So we actually just come off this step, and then I do this. Actually, I'll show you what I do. I go.
Oh yeah, you jump and it shakes the whole van.
That's what I do. It's so unnecessary, but I feel like it's my morning routine now.
Yeah, I actually never step on that
No,
step.
it's weird. Even though that would make it 10 times easier.
Yeah. Don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird. Alright, anyway. Should we show them? Let's show the fridge. We do actually have like a 240 fridge. We used to have a 12-volt fridge. It was a Chinese little fridge off Amazon. It was awful. It was 300 quid. It was 300 quid and it broke after what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was really soon after.
The biggest waste of money ever, but yeah, this is just a solid fridge. You can't really go wrong with it. Yeah, obviously the one crucial and absolutely essential thing inside the fridge. But yeah, so that's just nice and simple. That is linked up to the inverter. So if we want this on, at the moment we live in Lidl. Like, if you might have seen in one of our other videos, we literally live in Lidl. So there's no need for the fridge. It's just colder. It's like, I'd say about 5 degrees colder than the rest of the van. All the wiring for the fridge just goes behind those steps, round behind the bed, underneath the 2 benches, and underneath you right now. So it does make a big loop. It seems unnecessary, but I didn't want to go underneath the floor. And then this is Lou's storage.
It's not all my storage, by the way.
All Lou's storage.
Pillows, duvet covers, toilet roll. That's ours. Yeah, and then these are joint toiletries.
Oh, come on. Oh my god. She grabbed one thing. You grabbed one thing. Lou, no.
And this isn't mine. That's not mine.
If you can grab 2 things.
2.
3 things. She's grabbed, okay.
3.
And now, look how small this is compared to that cupboard.
Anyway, it's just toiletries, shampoo, conditioners, you know, essentials.
And then we have, the spare pillows and stuff. Yeah, this is, again, just a luxury. We don't need this extra storage. It goes pretty high up there as well. Again, I do think if anyone's going to get a Sprinter, like a normal body Sprinter, medium, long wheelbase, if you feel comfortable driving that, go and drive a Luton box van. They're so much easier to convert. I have grown up in normal wheelbase Sprinters, medium and long wheelbase Sprinters, converted in campers. We've gone around France and stuff. This is so much easier to convert, way more practical, and it's just a lot nicer to live in. There's no weird kind of circles, kind of like feel like they're kind of boxing you in a little bit. This is really spacious. Like those corners up there. Actually, I'll try to give you an example. Actually, how high the ceilings are. Well, Lou can't even turn this extractor fan on.
Okay.
It might look like it's. If I was. Yeah, I can kind of just put my palm of my hand against the ceiling. It's very high, which has a negative as well. It means that you've got to be really careful about going into even gas stations. Some gas stations are too low. We are 3.3 meters high, which is very, very high. And some gas stations are 3.2, and lots of parking areas are 3.2. It's and if you're gonna in going throughout Europe, I really wouldn't worry about the height restrictions, because they actually go for 2.1 and under. So if you want to go onto a beach, for example, lots of areas are 2.1 and under, which is ridiculous.
Sorry, just quick. What's that little bird thing?
Oh. It's done a little head wiggle.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back on with the video. Are you zoomed in still? Yes, you were. Okay, so now we're going to show you the shower. This is probably the bit I'm most unhappy with at the moment, and it's the only bit that's not finished. Like the rest of it is pretty much finished. I wouldn't say there's anything else I would like to change. So the shower is also the toilet, and is technically now the bin. You'll see what I mean. So again, making the most out of everything. We have the shower. It has its own little light. I've gone for these tiny little lights everywhere because I didn't want anything to get caught on the lights. So yeah, as you can see, the shower is a fair size.
Yeah, it is.
And you can go that way. So you can go around the side.
But yeah, just...
It has actually a nice little shower piece there. I'm currently working on it, so there is exposed wood that can get wet, and I've also to sand the floor, so it's a bit of a shame. It's not how I want. I didn't want to really give the tour of it, but I feel like I wanted to give the van tour of the van right now, because it's going to keep changing, so I wanted to kind of show you its current state. But the van, so this shower is 600 wide, but I think it's about a meter. So it's a good size. You know, I can get in here, I can turn around. It's not exactly compact, but the cool thing about this, it's literally like a Swiss Army knife, this shower. So you have, this is going to become the drying area for clothing if it's like, because we're going to go into some colder areas soon, which I don't really want to spoil. If I put you down there, our toilet. So this I showed a while back, and this is done really well. This has never been a problem. And the fact that it goes away, the second it's in there, that reduces probably what, like 80% of the smell. The second, like those kind of cassette toilets, they can get a bit smelly. But the second it's in there, you can't smell it. So if it was always out, it would always smell. You got to think, like, we need to empty that today, so I'm not going to show you in there. But that's going to get empty today, and that is a little bit smelly. But the second it came out, it smelled. Like right now, you can't smell it at all. So it has the toilet, but it is also a little shelf area for like extra like cleaning products, and the bin. Our bin is also in there. So the bin is on runners that goes into this box here. I made this a few days back. The reason I did this was because the bin used to be hanging off there. And to be honest, it was just really annoying. I snapped 2 of them, so we had to keep buying these new little bins. But this, the fact that it's part of the wall pretty much now, this is just a little zip tie I chucked in there. And also nothing's painted, or I've just literally cut it. I haven't sanded it, nothing yet. This is still really raw. But yeah, it kind of gets chucked away, and the bin size is about 4 times the size. In a van, you do have to be careful about your bin size, because lots of areas where you're going to try and dispose of your bins are quite small. They can be about that big. If you use a big bin bag, you won't be able to get rid of that easily. So we have these bin bags, and they are, does it even show me the size? It doesn't. All in all, when you're going to try and get it into the hole, it's about that big, which is kind of perfect for disposing in most public bins. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Do not have a massive bin with a massive bin bag, because you will really struggle to get rid of it. Hopefully you liked our camper van, our tiny home we have here. I can't express how good this has suited us and how much it's given us freedom around Europe. I think if anyone's thinking about buying a van to do van life, just do it. It's the best form of like travel, in my opinion, and I think it's the same for many. Anyone who's done it realizes how magical it can be. It's truly incredible and really unique the way you travel. You have your home, and to be honest, you have a lot of stuff with you. Like when you're in a backpack, you're traveling around Asia and stuff, you are very limited on what you can take with you. You're always having to kind of pack back up, and you're traveling from hotel to hostel, hostel to hotel. You're never really like based or have a home. But when you have a van like this, it's your home, and you are always comfortable no matter where you go, because you come back to your home every night. It is quite cool in that perspective.
Something else is, whilst we're away, and yeah, going hostel to hostel, hotel to hotel, we drink a lot of coffee. We drink a lot of drinks.
Did you see the drawer?
Yeah. So when you are living in a hotel or a hostel, that's really hard, because yeah, that's really hard because you just end up spending so much money. You're constantly in cafes. We'd spend like the whole day in a cafe because we were working, and yeah, buying so many drinks and food. Whereas here, you can just make it yourself. You can make a cup of coffee, sit outside, sit at the beach, sit here, work. Like there's so many different options, and that's a really big thing for me that I really miss. And also, we really missed going to the supermarkets, didn't we?
Yeah, and now we live at one.
Yeah. But like in Southeast Asia, it's cheaper to go out for dinner, and going out for dinner should be looked at as a luxury, not something that you just get used to.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah, so we actually missed going to the supermarket and cooking our own food, and now when we go out for dinner, it's a treat.
Yeah, you still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because especially in Italy. Like, I know that with van life in Italy, it can be a bit tricky, but if you do want to come over here, the food is incredible.
Oh, yeah, and not expensive. Everybody thinks that the food in Italy is expensive. It's not. It's really, really not.
No, it's actually it's probably about half the price of, maybe a third of the price of the UK. Actually, you can get a pizza for like £5.
Yeah, going out for dinner, I'd say, is like a third of the price.
Probably about half the price for buying food.
Yeah, supermarket is, I'd say, half price.
Yeah, I would say if we're going to quickly run over the cons, because I think there's so many plus sides to this van, I don't even need to go over them. If there's cons and we had to say them, the size of the van. So I have a reversing camera, so it can be a little bit tricky driving this around and reversing it sometimes. And I've drove vans my entire life, saying that. I would say another con is fuel. It uses a lot more fuel than a normal smaller van or medium van. This runs at about 28 miles to the gallon, which is okay. But you can have, like, our old micro camper, our Citroen Berlingo, had 58 miles to the gallon. So you do spend a lot more money there. I would say you actually save money in lots of ways because we don't, like Lou said, we don't eat out. We drink coffees in here.
Yeah.
We don't spend any money anywhere apart from at the supermarket. We can stay anywhere we want, any car park we want, and we feel safe still. When you're in a smaller van, you do feel like you want to break at a campsite here and there. So you do spend a lot of money that way. I think if you weigh up, I actually say you do save money in here.
Absolutely.
More than a smaller van.
We barely spend any money. It's so rare that we get our bank card out or cash. Like, it's so rare.
It's just at the supermarket.
It's just at the supermarket.
Which is insane to say. Like, when you're travelling, you spend money in so many ways. But actually, it's not a lot. And when you have a fully set up kitchen, a decent sized water tank so that you can always have water there, and we have a hot shower. We don't need anything else. So that, I would say, as a con, can be removed. Another big con...
Did you talk about the solar panel? The fact that we've got a solar panel?
Yeah, so yeah, I did, yeah. We've got, I can't remember the wattage, but we've got a lot. We've got two big meter, 1.2 by 700 solar panels. Actually, I can't remember the exact specs. I'll put them on here.
Yeah,
but,
that's a must.
That is an absolute must. Solar panels and the switch relay are essential. Another big con for this, I would say...
I think it's just like, if we want to go to... This doesn't happen very often, but if we do want to go shopping, or we want to go to like a small town, it is just the size of it. So I flew to London for a work event, and you dropped me off at the airport, but we couldn't go down a certain area because of the size of the van. It's like that kind of thing.
We had to go down the bus lane.
Yeah, which we're probably going to get a ticket for that.
No, we won't.
Okay.
We won't. The guy told... someone who worked there told me to go down there.
Okay,
but it's think something to take into mind that, yeah, the size of it is so high. It's the height, really. It's so high that, yeah, you just have to be really mindful. When you're driving, you can't have that what's it called? That thing that stops the light. You can't have that down to, like, protect your eyes from the sun rays.
Oh,
you need that up because you need to make sure that you're not going to hit anything low. And like trees, like arching into the road, all of this you become really aware of.
And also, like where we are right now, it's quiet because it's the winter. Like, we're parked at the beach and there's no one here. But in the summer, this place is rammed. So finding a parking space in town is really hard.
Yeah.
So everyone has very small cars here, and then there's us, which we just cannot fit into these tiny spots. So we have to park way out of the way and walk in, which is fine. But again, it's just something to consider.
Yeah. It's the size. It does, because we are a bit longer, like, than a normal parking bay. We overhang by probably about that much, which is a medium wheel-based van. They a larger van anyway, like Sprinters. They will overhang just a little bit. Again, this is something that if you're willing to sacrifice having these issues and being really aware of the height and some height restrictions here and there. If you're willing to sacrifice that, this becomes your home, and it is not something you just sleep in. You live in it.
Yeah.
and it becomes true van life, not just a car that you sleep in. I think is a big transition there, and I think it's quite special, really. Like, knowing that this is our home that we kind of travel around in, it's so weird.
Like, even right now, parking at the beach with these kind of views, like, the views are absolutely amazing, and this is what we're living in.
Yeah. Yeah. We're living in little car parking and we don't even know. Like, when you close all the blinds in here, you don't know where you are.
You don't.
And when we were in the Citroen Berlingo, it's a car, it's a very, very small van. So people kind of look in, they get a bit nosy. And we had these blinds to kind of stop people from looking in, but people always find cracks to look in. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But with this, it's just a camper van. People know it's a camper van because of this and the back door. So nobody really tries it because they're not confused to what's happening. With the Citroen Berlingo, it looked like we were just a bit homeless.
Yeah, and even so, we lived in the Citroen Berlingo in the summer and in the winter, and we had to sit outside the whole time, like literally until the moment we were ready to go to sleep. We'd sit outside. The moment we woke up, get outside and just sit outside, even if it was, well, hot, which was obviously nice. And in the winter, it was like literally snowing and we'd be sat outside like in blankets and stuff because it's better than sitting in bed.
That's
honestly.
a big point, yeah. That was annoying. But just about to say the camera's about to die, so we'll say, yep, thank you for watching our van tour video. We really hope you like it, and if you can take some inspiration and some tips from it, please do.
Yeah.
That's why we are making these videos. We want to kind of share what we've done, and if it can help encourage an extra person to go and do van life or give it a go, take it, run with it. It's epic.
Yeah.